What's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another new and exciting TV box review. Today's model is from a new brand offering live TV. In my opinion, is a bit more of the same, but with some emphasis on the display resolution of their live streams. This is the Digibox D3 Plus live TV and a video on demand Android TV box. So in this model, believe it or not, they are using cats to deliver their live TV service, which of course accounts for 90% of the price you'll be paying for this unit. So to find out all there is to know about this model, stay tuned, my full review is up next. So the contents of the box are as expected. You get the D3 Plus model, a Bluetooth voice remote, one HDMI cable, a 5V 2 amps DC power adapter, and a user manual. For design, I have not seen this layout since 2016 in a very early box called the X92. The design has somewhat evolved to now include some new features. The body is entirely made of plastic with the Digibox branding on the top. For I/O, things get a bit different. To its rear, it has one HDMI 2.1 port, a non-gigabit LAN port, one optical audio, one AV port, an IR extender, its DC power socket, and a pair of external antennas. To the side, it has 4 USB 2.0 ports and a micro SD card reader. At the front, it has an LED power light, and to its base has 4 rubber feet with no ventilation holes. The first boot up process features a Digibox animation, followed by the pairing of the Bluetooth remote. Then you have to complete a first startup wizard. Then you have a disclaimer from the manufacturers about the usage of the box. And then you are taken to the launcher. So this launcher was custom made for this model, and it's called the Digibox launcher. It's designed to be navigated fully with a direction pad and OK button, and it can also be navigated with a mouse pointer. To the bottom here, it features a multi-layer shortcuts bar. At the top features a date and time widget and a shortcuts bar to all its special features, starting with a customer service QR code to speak to someone directly via WhatsApp, a speed test app for testing the speeds of its Wi-Fi and Ethernet LAN port, a help section with some troubleshooting tips, an auto app startup feature to automatically start up your favorite apps every time you reboot. On the remote, there are 2 dedicated shortcut buttons, and in this quick launch section, you can assign shortcuts to any 2 of your favorite apps. You have Bluetooth settings, a one-click memory cleanup button for quickly freeing up system resources by closing all apps running in the background, your Wi-Fi settings. They provided a special mobile remote control feature that can be used as an alternative way to navigate the box. And under More Settings is where you can find your system control apps and its settings area. In this section, there is a wallpaper feature where you can set the wallpaper to change automatically from a selection of presets, or you can set it to manual and add your own custom wallpapers. This launcher does not feature a navigation bar or status bar with system controls, and unfortunately, even though it's running on the mobile version of Android with root access, the many button alternative navigation bar app does not work. So the selling point of this box, and what accounts for the majority of its high price, is its ability to install a live TV and video on-demand service for thousands of live TV channels and video on-demand movies. Out of the box, this service is not included, and you will have to install those apps as a personal decision from an external source via a built-in APK App Store. Upon opening the App Store, there is another disclaimer about the source of the available apps, and you should be aware of the intellectual property rights laws in your country or region. And because they are not served on the Google Play Store, they cannot guarantee that every app is safe or harmless, so you should carry out your own virus and malware scanning. The service provides 1,141 live TV channels in HD 1080p quality, over 9,000 video-on-demand movies, over 2,000 TV series, and over 300 anime titles in HD and 4K. You also get up to 7 days of playback with a separate app. All services are supported by a full EPG guide. So in testing the service, I noticed that they offer a much smaller tailored lineup of the most popular and essential channels, but the HD quality is what makes it stand out from the rest. I would have loved to give you a live demonstration, but due to YouTube's community guidelines, I am forbidden from displaying that type of content, which could also result in my channel being taken down. So you will just have to take my word for it and see for yourself. Another thing to note is that you can take the D3 Plus anywhere with you, anywhere in the world, and the service will work once it's connected to the internet. If you like camping or watching movies outdoors, it's compatible with all displays and projectors, giving you entertainment options to the fullest. Moving on to its firmware features. This firmware is running on Android 12 tvOS version, but all of its features are that of the mobile version of Android, so it's safe to say that this is a hybrid firmware, hence the reason the menu button app does not work. It can display up to 4K 2160p at 60Hz resolution, and this is true 60Hz as detected by my capture card. You get HDR display with HDR always on. You can turn it off by selecting the SDR option and an auto HDR option. These options make it compatible with HDR and non-HDR TVs. It has a built-in screen rotation feature, but unfortunately, it does not work even if you disable this forced landscape option. Under video format selection shows that it supports HDR10 and HLG, and it does not support Dolby Vision or HDR10+. It has HDMI CEC options under the input selection, 52 various languages to choose from. It has an audio output source selector to switch between the HDMI, AV port, and the optical audio port. You can enable audio pass-through, and under audio formats, it shows that it supports none of the various surround sound audio formats. For installing apps and games, you have full access to the mobile version of the Google Play Store, and it's not restricted in any way. Let's take a look at its hardware. So the manufacturer is Allwinner, and it runs on 4GB of DDR4 RAM and 64GB of internal storage. Its Bluetooth version is 5.0. Its CPU is the Allwinner H616, a quad-core Cortex A53 processor clocked at 1.5 GHz configured in a 32-bit mode. Its GPU is the Mali G31 with OpenGL version 3.2 support. It comes with a dual-band Wi-Fi 6 adapter. It's running on Android 12 and the firmware is rooted. It has Vulkan Support API version 1.1. Its idle CPU operating temperature is around 72 degrees Celsius. And for decoders, it only has decoders for the playback of 4K HDR videos. There is no AV1 decoder or any surround sound audio decoders, and that's its system and hardware information. For digital rights to watch premium movie streaming services in HD and 4K, it only has Google Widevine Level 3 with no HDCP HDMI output signal protection. This means no matter what premium service you install, like for example Netflix, it will be limited to basic 480p resolution even if you are paying for an HD account. It is, however, rooted, so you are free to install any app or APK that requires root access. But at the same time, it does not have a root switch, so you cannot deactivate root access. For watching YouTube videos, you get up to 2K 1440p without issues. However, you cannot increase the resolution to 4K 2160p as it freezes up and automatically reverts to 1080p. You also don't get HDR. For mirroring your mobile devices, it comes with a Miracast receiver app, and when used with your Android phone or tablet, you can mirror your display in HD 1080p resolution. On the launcher's home screen, you can access their built-in mobile remote control feature. Once you open, you scan the QR code with your mobile phone and install the DigiPlay app. This app is actually C-Display, which in my opinion is the best mobile remote control app ever created. With this app, you get a D-pad mode, touchpad mode, mouse mode. You get numeric keyboard control and gamepad mode. With the Bluetooth remote, once you set up Google Assistant, you can perform voice search and voice commands easily. What's the fastest car in the world?
Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. According to Heycar, what is the #1 fastest car in the world?
For customization, you can install any alternative launcher and replace the default launcher. You can also change its wallpaper using a custom image, or you can install live wallpapers. To set the alternative launcher as the default launcher, you simply go into the launcher's app settings under the Home App option. This way, every time you start the box, it will boot up using your preferred launcher. As mentioned in the System and Hardware Information segment, it comes with decoders to play HDR10 and HLG videos only, and it does not have the decoders for HDR10 Plus, AV1 and Dolby Vision. So to test its 4K video playback capability, I will play my list of 4K HDR videos and let's see how many formats it can play. This is a standard 4K HDR10 video and it plays without issues, triggering the HDR feature on this TV. This is a 4K AV1 video, but unfortunately, this box does not support the playback of this format. This is a 4K Dolby Vision video without Dolby Atmos. Usually it triggers the HLG feature, but it's only triggering the HDR10, as this box does not support HLG. This is another Dolby Vision video, but this one has Dolby Atmos. It triggers the HDR feature, but the box is having difficulty processing the audio in this super compressed format, and it outputs noise for audio. This is an HDR10 Plus video, and it does not trigger the HDR feature and outputs noise for audio. This is a pure HLG video, and due to the lack of the HLG decoder, it plays as standard HDR10. In testing its surround sound audio output capability, the trend is the same with these all-winner models. You don't get decoding at the hardware level but at the software level, so you only get Dolby Atmos, Dolby Digital Plus and a DTS Neural X. You don't get a DTS HD Master Audio, Dolby Surround, Dolby True HD or DTS X. Here it outputs Dolby Atmos successfully.
This is Dolby Atmos.
It also outputs Dolby Digital Plus.
Whether the soundscape sets the mood of a scene.
When you attempt to play a DTS HD Master Audio video, you get DTS Virtual X or Neural X, not the true format. When you try to play a Dolby Vision video for Dolby Surround, it does not output any audio. The most compressed Dolby format called Dolby True HD does not produce any audio. And when you try to play DTS X, it produces audio but in the DTS Virtual X or Neural X format, not the true DTS X. To conclude, a look at some benchmarks and where it ranks on my TV box rankings chart. First, its RAM and internal storage read and write transfer speeds. Its 4GB of DDR4 RAM has a transfer speed of 2,967 MB per second. Its internal storage has a read speed of 77 MB per second and a write speed also of 77 MB per second. Its read and write speeds are low compared to Amlogic and the Rockchip models in its class, and I'm also seeing a pattern with these H616 models where its Wi-Fi and LAN speeds are also affected. Based on my internet speed of 315 megabits per second, its 5 GHz band could only achieve 115 download speed. Its LAN port, which is not a gigabit LAN port, only achieved around 94 megabits per second, and its 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi band achieved around 38 megabits per second. So you can clearly see here, even though it uses Wi-Fi 6 technology, it underperforms according to this test. For testing its CPU single-core and multi-core performance, the Geekbench 5 CPU benchmark delivered a score of 112 single-core and 396 multi-core. In benchmarking its GPU's performance, even though it has Vulkan support, it only registered 126 in the 3D Mark Wild live test with an average FPS of 0.76, which is not good for Android gaming. And in the Antutu benchmark version 8, because I could not get the latest version 9 or 10 to run, scored 71,440. And that's the last of the benchmarks. Let's now see where it ranks on my chart. So the scores are in, and the Digibox D3 Plus ranks at position 97 at the time of making this video. So it's not a high performance model, and it received a 2 out of 5 star rating based on its Antutu benchmark score and the pros and cons of its firmware features. So if you would like to have a look at its rating to compare the rest of its features to other boxes in this list, I recommend that you view it on a desktop or laptop and maximize it so you can compare all of its features. A link to this chart can be found in the description below. So I left 3D gaming for last, as I was hoping that with its root access and its DigiPlay mobile app, I would be able to use it in Gamepad mode to play touchscreen games. Unfortunately, it does not work that way, so I had to revert to the Panda Mouse Pro app instead, and it worked. The downside is, with its CPU/GPU clocked at 1.5 GHz and with heat levels rising over 85 degrees Celsius, there is lots of throttling, poor graphics, and a sluggish gameplay. So this proves again that the Allwinner H616 models are not meant for Android gaming. In summary, I would start by stating that I like all of the features this box presents on its launcher. I like the mobile remote control app, its Google Assistant feature, and its Bluetooth remote. I like that screen mirroring works in HD quality, and I like that they chose to go with the mobile version of Android and granted root access. And of course, the live TV and video on demand apps, in my opinion, stand out because it's an HD 1080p resolution, and the VOD app even provides up to Blu-ray quality. My issue with this box is that despite all of these great features, they made the wrong decision to use the Allwinner H616 chipset, which I continue to emphasize to all of these live TV box manufacturers is the worst chipset to use. They cannot increase its CPU speed to 2.0 GHz because the box will die an early death from overheating, and it just cannot deliver a good all-round Android box experience. So if I had to single out the best feature in this box, it would be its live TV and video on demand service. So if you are interested and would like to check out what they are offering in this model, I placed links to their website and Amazon page for you to take advantage of their reduced prices. So see those links in the description below this video. So that brings to an end this review. Thanks for watching. Give this video the thumbs up to support the work that I do on this channel, as it also helps to improve my ratings. Be sure to check out my TV box rankings chart, as it can help you decide which is the best TV box to purchase. You can find a link to my chart in the description below this video. If you are new to Android boxes and watching one of my videos for the first time, then I urge you to keep informed of the latest models and prices by clicking the subscribe button and ringing the notifications bell to receive notifications when I release new videos or decide to do a giveaway. Thanks again for watching. Stay connected and see you in the next one.